this gonna last forever?
Just stop it.
Justin Bieber just made headlines again, and this time it's not about his music or personal life. It's about cutting ties with someone who played a massive role in his career. Bieber has reportedly unfollowed Usher on Instagram. This shocking move has fans speculating. Is this about the explosive allegations surrounding Diddy, or is Bieber trying to distance himself from a dark chapter in his past? Whatever the reason, this story is heating up, and we're here to unpack all the details. Let's dive in. Justin Bieber's recent decision to unfollow Usher on Instagram has raised eyebrows for more than just celebrity drama. Many are speculating that this move might be connected to Sean Diddy Combs' upcoming trial, where explosive allegations of sexual exploitation, trafficking, and more are set to take center stage. Allegedly, some believe Usher could be tied to evidence in the case, sparking Bieber's decision to distance himself now.
Justin Bieber, is continuing the purge. He has now moved to unfollow Usher, okay, his original mentor. So this is a very big story.
Since Diddy's arrest, people have been looking at Justin Bieber differently. With his past ties to Diddy, fans and critics alike have been waiting for Bieber to make a statement or address the situation in any capacity. Back in the day, Bieber was frequently seen hanging out with Diddy, and those old clips have resurfaced, leading many to wonder just how deep their relationship really went. As for Usher, his recent online behavior has only added fuel to the fire. The moment he deleted all his tweets and claimed his account was hacked, alarms started ringing everywhere. People immediately began speculating that Usher was trying to cover something up. Many believe this suspicious move was directly tied to his alleged connections with Diddy. Let's be real, if there was nothing to hide, why go to such lengths? And now, it's not just about the unfollowing. Allegedly, Justin Bieber is also preparing to testify against Diddy in his upcoming trial in May. Yep, you heard that right. Bieber might be stepping into the courtroom to share his side of the story. But here's where it gets messier. Bieber's testimony could also implicate Usher. After all, Usher was the one who introduced Bieber to Diddy in the first place, setting the stage for everything that followed. This, y'all, might just be the real reason Bieber cut Usher off. Some insiders believe Bieber is distancing himself so Usher can't try to influence his story, or worse, convince him to stay quiet. It's no secret that Usher played a pivotal role in Justin's rise to fame. Usher not only signed Bieber to his label, but also introduced him to Diddy early in his career. Back then, Bieber was just a young artist looking for his big break, and Usher connected him with Diddy's infamous Puffy Flavor camp. Years later, Usher gave an eye-opening interview with Howard Stern, where he reflected on his experiences with Diddy and the Puffy Flavor camp. During the interview, Usher made a shocking revelation, saying he would never send his own youngins to the camp after what he and Bieber allegedly went through under Diddy's influence.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
Usher's exact words painted a grim picture, hinting at situations he endured that he wouldn't wish on anyone, especially not his youngins. When you add Bieber's experiences into the mix, it becomes even clearer why their association with Diddy's camp has been a controversial topic for years. While Diddy may not have had direct access to Justin Bieber at the start of his career, he allegedly got to him through Usher. By leveraging his close relationship with Usher, Diddy was able to bring Bieber into his circle. The Puffy Flavor camp, marketed as a mentorship experience, allegedly became a gateway for questionable activities that have haunted those involved ever since.
Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler.
With Diddy's trial approaching and these past allegations resurfacing, Bieber's unfollowing of Usher feels less like a random act and more like a calculated move to distance himself from the storm that's brewing. To make matters worse, Diddy is also facing a lawsuit with allegations of SA people as young as 9 years old by luring them in with promises of launching their careers in the entertainment industry. Reports suggest there are over 120 accusers, including at least 25 underage people.
Steph, thank you. We are following breaking news right now related to music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. Major new allegations today of and exploitation by Combs. For the first time, we are hearing about victims who say they were minors when they were allegedly by the music star.
This shocking revelation has caused many to take a closer look at Diddy's relationship with a very young Justin Bieber. When you look back at the history of Bieber and Diddy's relationship, the lines between mentorship and exploitation start to blur. Videos from those early days show Bieber as a wide-eyed teen, spending significant time around Diddy and his world. For a 15-year-old, the access to wealth, power, and the entertainment elite may have seemed like a dream, but it's now being re-examined under a much darker light. From the very start of Justin Bieber's career, Sean Diddy Combs seemed determined to form a close bond with him. Whether it was personal, professional, or a mix of both, Diddy's actions stood out as unusual. This determination led to Bieber spending 2 days straight with Diddy, a move that raised eyebrows even back then, but is now being viewed in an even more troubling light. Footage from their time together shows Bieber, just 15 years old, hanging out with Diddy for 48 hours. He even made comments about taking Bieber out to meet girls, framing the time as a 15-year-old's dream. But looking back now, the entire situation feels riddled with red flags.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you want to do? What you want to do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang with some girls.
A man after my heart. That's what I'm talking about, kid.
One of the biggest questions this footage raises is about Bieber's guardians at the time. How could his parents or legal guardians allow him to spend 48 hours partying with a grown man, especially one with Diddy's reputation? For many, this situation looks less like mentorship and more like exploitation disguised as opportunity.
That was not easy.
No, you were not easy.
Oh, please, share something. You can't just say that.
I was not easy. I got suspended from school like every year.
It's hard to imagine any responsible parent being comfortable with their teenage son hanging out unsupervised with a multimillionaire for 2 full days. The lack of oversight in this situation has left people wondering how much Bieber may have been exposed to during this time. Fast forward 2 years, and Bieber and Diddy were back on camera together, this time when Bieber was 17. But something was different. In this clip, Diddy appeared visibly upset with Bieber, questioning him about something that happened in the time since their last meeting. Bieber's body language during the interaction was drastically different from their earlier footage.
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Right, okay.
My number?
Gone was the carefree energy from their first meeting. Instead, Bieber looked nervous, even scared, as Diddy pressed him. Watching this now, many are questioning what might have happened between the two during or after their initial 48 hours together. The contrast in energy is striking, and for viewers, it's hard to ignore the possibility that something unsettling may have taken place. Looking at these interactions through the lens of Diddy's current legal troubles makes it hard to dismiss the red flags. The footage that once seemed like harmless fun now raises serious concerns about the power dynamics at play and the potential exploitation of a young star. It's situations like Justin Bieber's that make people wonder just how many more Diddys are out there in the entertainment industry. For decades, whispers of grooming, coercion, and exploitation have surrounded powerful figures like Sean Diddy Combs. With more individuals stepping forward to share their stories about him, it's becoming clear that fear often plays a major role in his interactions with others.
I want to know what Justin Bieber, I want to know. Justin Bieber, look at his life change. That man is terrified of Puffy. I seen the video, I'm in the streets, dog. People know fear, dog.
Take Freddie P, who got his start on Diddy's MTV reality show, Making the Band. He has openly spoken about the fear Diddy instills in those around him. Freddie described interactions with Diddy as controlling and manipulative, leaving lasting effects on those he worked with. Looking at Bieber's interactions with Diddy now, the same unsettling power dynamics seem to be present. The clip of Bieber speaking nervously about losing Diddy's number speaks volumes. Bieber, once a confident young star, looked visibly uneasy as he tried to downplay the situation. Freddie P's description of Diddy's ability to control through fear seems to align with what viewers see in Bieber's body language. For years, the public saw Diddy and Bieber's relationship as friendly, even fatherly at times. When Bieber was arrested for a DUI in 2014, Diddy publicly defended him. On the surface, it looked like Diddy was offering support, but in light of recent allegations, many now see it differently.
I don't think that he should be judged like he's not a human being or he's not a teenager that has to
hit some stumbling blocks. You know what I'm saying? It's just not fair to make him a perfect human being. Should he be more responsible?
Imagine your tormentor publicly defending you and making people believe they care. That kind of public display can feel like a deep form of psychological manipulation. For some, Diddy's words seem less like genuine concern and more like a calculated move to maintain control over Bieber's narrative. From the moment Bieber entered Diddy's circle, it seems like he was exposed to a side of the entertainment industry most people only hear rumors about. Reports suggest Bieber may have learned how to drink and party at Diddy's house, with plenty of footage showing him looking intoxicated at Diddy's events. On one occasion, Bieber was seen partying hard with NFL star Odell Beckham Jr. at a Diddy party, where he found himself in what appeared to be a compromising situation. This kind of exposure wasn't limited to alcohol. Bieber was allegedly surrounded by the wilder aspects of Diddy's lifestyle, including situations involving nudity and questionable activities. In a clip from Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Khloe Kardashian shared her experience at one of Diddy's infamous parties, describing it as chaotic and filled with rampant nudity. Shockingly, none other than Justin Bieber was also present at the event. For context, this episode aired on August 17, 2014. At the time, Bieber was just 20 years old, meaning the footage was likely filmed even earlier. Meanwhile, Khloe was 30 and Diddy was 45. Whether Diddy had leverage on Bieber or not, it's clear that he held a degree of influence over him.
So who was with you this weekend? A bunch of my friends. Diddy, Quincy, Justin Bieber, so far French so good. Montana.
Party? I think half the people there were butt naked.
Whenever Bieber and Diddy were seen together, Bieber treated him with the utmost respect, almost as if there was something deeper at play. Observers have noted how Bieber's demeanor often shifted entirely in Diddy's presence, going from confident to visibly more cautious and reserved. This dynamic adds yet another layer of complexity to their relationship, making it hard to ignore the power imbalance. Even as recently as 4 years ago, Justin Bieber appeared genuinely uneasy around Diddy. In one instance, footage shows Diddy patting Bieber down, almost as if checking for a wire. The interaction was strange and unsettling, with Bieber's body language reflecting discomfort. Despite how odd their dynamic seemed, Bieber and Diddy continued to collaborate. In 2023, Bieber appeared on the track Moments from Puff's album, The Love Album, Off the Grid. As the project dropped, Bieber took to Instagram to reflect on their long history, writing about how he pitched a song to Diddy at just 14 years old. Bieber admitted the song was trash and that Diddy gave him a hard no back then. But, in a full circle moment, Diddy later asked Bieber to freestyle for his new album. As news of Diddy's arrest spread, Bieber's reaction was impossible to ignore. Reports indicate that Justin is in a happy bubble, focusing on being a father and trying to move past the chaos. But his first public appearance after the news broke told a different story. Bieber looked gaunt, distressed, and visibly weighed down by something. His appearance sparked concern among fans, who demanded that he take steps to address the trauma they believe is coming to the surface. For many, Bieber's behavior suggests that the situation with Diddy may be affecting him more deeply than he's letting on.
Hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn and everyone, telling me they love me.
Despite Bieber's efforts to maintain his public image and focus on his family, it's clear that the weight of his past with Diddy is hard to shake. With fans rallying behind him, there's hope that Bieber will find the support he needs to navigate this difficult chapter. Justin Bieber has touched on the struggles he faced as a young star in rare moments of vulnerability. In an emotional interview with Zane Lowe, Bieber broke down when discussing the challenges of navigating fame at such a young age. When asked about his desire to protect other young artists, like Billie Eilish, Bieber reflected on his own painful experiences.
People take for granted encounters and yeah.
He described how isolating it was to be so young in the industry, saying, "It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn. Everyone's telling me they love me, and then they turn their back on you in a second." Through tears, Bieber shared his hope for Billie, expressing that he didn't want her to go through the same pain he endured. "I just want to protect her. I don't want her to lose it. I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody." He explained that while he wouldn't force a relationship with her, he would always be there for her if she needed support. Bieber's struggles have also been reflected in his music. His collaboration with Benny Blanco on the song Lonely offers a raw glimpse into the isolation he felt growing up in the spotlight. In the lyrics, Bieber sings, "What if you had it all, but nobody to call? Maybe then you'd know me. 'Cause I've had everything, but no one's listening, and that's just lonely. I'm so lonely." Another line from the track reveals even more of the pain he endured. "And everybody saw me sick, and it felt like no one gave an ish. They criticized the things I did as an idiot kid." The song resonated deeply with fans, many of whom connected with its raw honesty about the cost of fame. For Bieber, Lonely was more than just a track. It was a way of expressing the emotional toll of being thrust into the limelight at such a young age. When you look back at Justin Bieber's career, it becomes clear that Diddy's alleged involvement might just scratch the surface of the challenges Bieber faced as a young star. Over the years, several unsettling moments have surfaced that raise questions about the treatment Bieber received during his rise to fame. One example occurred on live television, where Bieber expressed feeling uncomfortable after being placed in an awkward situation involving someone much older. While it may have been dismissed at the time, it's now seen as a clear indicator of how often his boundaries were pushed.
I did grab his butt. I'm single. I couldn't help it. He was just so delicious. So little. Just
When you told me the whole story, I felt like throwing up.
Wow! I feel violated right now.
Another instance involved an interview where Bieber was on the receiving end of unsettling comments about his appearance and age. The interviewer leaned into Bieber, commenting on how good he smelled and marveling at his young age. The remarks were framed as compliments, but they came across as inappropriate, especially toward a teenager.
It is. Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16.
Looking back, it's hard not to see these moments as part of a larger pattern where Bieber was often placed in situations that crossed professional boundaries. In another interview, Bieber, just 15 at the time, was asked about whether his mom had given him the talk. Bieber deflected the question, visibly uncomfortable, and mentioned that he'd already had the conversation with his dad. Instead of moving on, the interviewer pressed further, suggesting Bieber should give them the talk instead. Bieber quickly shut it down, making it clear how inappropriate the suggestion was. Watching it now, the exchange feels even more unsettling, highlighting how frequently Bieber was subjected to awkward and invasive questioning.
Has your mom given you this yet?
I mean, like, I really don't want to have that conversation with my mother.
Yeah.
Like I've kind of had it with my father.
You want to hear? Oh, really?
A
See,
little
my parents never gave me this talk.
Okay.
So why don't you give me this?
I feel uncomfortable right now.
For those calling for Sean Diddy Combs to answer for what he allegedly did to Justin Bieber, many also believe there's another person who needs to be held accountable: Usher. If it weren't for Usher, Bieber might never have crossed paths with Diddy in the first place. Usher, who has been in the industry since he was a teenager, was Bieber's original mentor. He took credit for discovering the young Canadian pop star on YouTube and played a major role in guiding him into the entertainment world. But Usher's connection to Diddy adds a deeper layer to this story, one that has many people looking at him with fresh eyes.
The first time you met Justin Bieber, this kid comes up to you. He's not Justin Bieber yet, he's just some kid. And he says, "I want to sing for you."
It was at the studio of Jermaine Dupri's. I said, why don't you set up a meeting between me and your manager?
I ain't gonna stop you like that, but this is only a tease. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you, Island Def Jam recording artist, Justin Bieber. It's getting ready to go down. Just so you know, we're in the studio right now working on it.
Before mentoring Bieber, Usher himself was mentored by Diddy. At just 13 years old, Usher was placed under Diddy's legal guardianship and sent to what Diddy called the Puffy Flavor Camp. During this time, Usher lived with Diddy and prepared for the spotlight under his guidance.
Moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah, that's what it was called.
Years later, Usher opened up about what he experienced in Diddy's world during a 2004 Rolling Stone interview. He described the environment as being dominated by Smex, with wild parties and explicit activities happening constantly. Usher recalled opening doors to find people in compromising situations, including and other shocking scenes. What's troubling is how Usher often spoke about these experiences as if they were normal, sometimes even seeming to justify them. For many, this raises the question: if Usher knew what life under Diddy was like, why would he lead a young Justin Bieber into the same environment?
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle,
right?
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
When you piece it all together, it becomes clear that none of this would have happened without Usher's involvement. As Bieber's mentor, Usher was responsible for introducing him to the entertainment world and, more specifically, to Diddy. Given what Usher himself endured as a teenager under Diddy's wing, it's hard to understand why he would guide Bieber into the same situation. While Usher might not have intended for Bieber to face harm, his decisions undeniably played a role in placing the young pop star in harm's way. When you look at everything that's gone down, it's easy to see why Justin Bieber might be cutting off Usher and unfollowing him. From Usher introducing him to Diddy's world to the questionable mentorship dynamics, Bieber's decision seems like a way to create distance from a past that brought him more harm than good. Anyway, I want to know what y'all think. Do you believe Justin Bieber's unfollowing Usher is about protecting himself from his past? Could Usher have done more to shield Bieber from Diddy's influence? And do you think this is just the tip of the iceberg for the entertainment industry? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe for the latest celebrity scoop. And before you go, check out the next video on your end screen. You won't want to miss it.